what you can do is send that inner child lots of love, lots of care and attention, and acknowledge it. Show it that it is seen, that it is heard now, that is loved now, and that you're taking care of it. Sometimes we have to reparent ourselves. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Guest Book Podcast. I hope that you are well. Last week was a big week. I popped together a load of wedding related stress relief techniques for you. So if you haven't had a chance to catch up on that yet, it's the episode before this one. It's week 10. Have a look, see what techniques that you can use to help you manage your own stress. And if you have any questions at all, I'm always here to help. So head on over to either Instagram, send me a DM, or you can head to theweddingplanningcollective.com. You can send me a contact form there, or failing that, you can email me at info@theweddingplanningcollective.com and let me know how you're getting on with your wedding planning journey. So today is week 11 of the Bridal Self-Love Journey, and we are tapping into our inner child. We are doing some exploring, some inner child work. It's gonna be the tip of the iceberg. Inner child work is so important. And I could do a whole series on inner child work, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you with your wedding planning and your wedding planning journey and tapping into your sense of self and basically becoming the woman that you've always aspired to be. And in tapping into our inner child, we open up the doors to a whole host of things that can help us on our journey and beyond. As everything that I do, especially on this bridal self-love journey, every tip, trick, tool, approach that I give you isn't just for now, it is a forever thing. You are aware of it, you can take action on it, you have the tools necessary to help you. And inner child work is no different. Now, you're probably thinking, why is inner child work important on this journey? In fact, a lot of people won't do this with you, but inner child work is so important. I want you to start by thinking about how much you can tap into your creativity, you can tap into a sense of wonder. But not only that, it will enrich your wedding planning experience because you are being more playful, you're setting free that carefree sense of you that you may have been suppressed. It may not come out. You might be really, really uptight and serious. You don't play, you don't, have that sense of wonder about you. And this is why inner child work is so important. Now, inner child work, especially right now, helps you. It will set you free from all of that kind of pent up energy that we have whilst in adulthood. That's just how it is. Life is stressful, life can get in the way. And having those pressures and the responsibilities can dull down that sense of us that wants to come out, wants to play, wants to be mischievous, wants to be silly. And so that part of us, that inner child part of us, represents your true self. It represents that part of you that is true and authentic to you before the world told you who you should be. And that is so important to recognize the things that you love or loved and step fully into and embodying all the things that you may have lost, that you want to rekindle, and really put it in simple terms, rediscover your joy, boost your creativity, and really bring those unique ideas to your own wedding journey. Really kind of tap into the healing that this will have with you It will heal past wounds. It may bring loads of things up for you. But whilst you are super hyper aware of you're doing inner child work, it's not going to throw you through a loop like it would be if you wasn't intentionally going on this journey. It will strengthen your relationships like no other. The whole point of doing this work on your inner child is because your inner child wants to be seen, wants to be heard, wants to be acknowledged and loved. And you can start doing that healing work. Also, strengthen your relationship with yourself, because that is the biggest thing that we want. We want to heal and understand and cultivate a new loving relationship with ourselves. Whether that be on this wedding planning journey or afterwards, having that positive, nurturing, loving relationship with ourselves will in turn help us have and strengthen relationships with others, whether that's friends or family or whomever is in your life. Or exploring your inner child will help you have that sense of wonder, innocence, and curiosity and excitement for your wedding. And you're like, Kelly, how? How can you bring the benefits of inner child work to your wedding planning journey? Well, a few things that will come up for you as practical kind of actions that you can take. The first one is a childhood memory journal. Don't you can do a specific one for childhood memory journaling if you want, but you could just do an individual journal entry. One thing you can do and explore, this is something that I didn't do, but friends of mine have done, is when they were little, they would picture their own wedding. They would have maybe a scrapbook full of things, or just in their head, they would visualize their own day, whether that be they thought they were going to get married in a church or a castle, have a big puffy wedding dress. They were going to get married to, I don't know, Mark Owen from Take That. I'm showing my age. Or Justin Bieber, say. They had a thought. They felt a certain way. So explore that. Journal about it. What, when it came to kind of your wedding dress, what did you have in mind? What was the cake flavors that you were going to have? What music were you going to play? Really explore and expand on that. Now, if you didn't have that kind of memory like I didn't have, explore other things. So, when did you feel the happiest? What TV shows did you love? What snacks did you love? Who did you love spending time with? Really reflect on it and bring it to life. Like, what were the most joyful, most happiest times? And really write them down in the journal, feel it, and explore what that means to you today. You may discover lost music that you used to love or films that you used to love. Journal about it. See how you feel. Write that journal entry about childhood memories. And then in your other journal entry, like, how does that make you feel looking back? Looking back in time sometimes can be quite hard to do, or you don't have memories as a kid. If that is something that's hard for you to do, think about, okay, when I was a child, how did I want to feel? Write it as if you are the child. So if you don't have any childhood memories, because trauma can do that, it can block out your childhood. You have zero memories or just trauma memories. Rewrite it as if you're that child. Write a day in the life of how you would love life to have been. And just go from there. Start healing by journaling. Then I want you to set time aside to do playful activities. sounds like in your head, you're like, this is so far from what I'm comfortable with. Whether that's playing with Lego or colouring or play fighting with the other half or dancing around your kitchen, do something that lights you up. If it's something that you loved as a child, whether that's a video game that you had when you was a kid or I don't know, something that rings true for you. So as a kid, I used to play Mario. As an adult, I hate video games. Maybe tap back into that and see how that makes you feel. Doing playful activities isn't childish. It actually relieves your stress. It helps you be more kind of give you more clarity of thought, but also it heightens your creativity and your imagination. If you think of when children play, they are so connected in play that actually one way that they express their love, because technically they don't know the words to verbalize love, they would say, "Can you play with me?" Their version of that is you giving them time. So you healing your inner child or connecting with your inner child is play. So even if it feels weird, try. My other half, Jacob, he finds it hard to connect with play. He's got a lot better as Gabriella's got older and he's used to that. But imaginary play was something he could never do. He felt really disconnected. He felt like, I don't know, felt like he was doing something wrong because he could not tap into that. Whereas me and Gabriella would walk around the house pretending we're dinosaurs or pop stars or in some kind of weird mansion or whatever was in her imagination. I found it quite easy to tap into that. Jacob did not. And if you find it's hard to do imaginary play or play in general, it's probably due to your own childhood, either being told that it's silly, that it's immature, that you should grow up, you should act your age, stop daydreaming, or whatever it may be. It's because you've been suppressed and been told what you should do. So break those rules, start playing, start buying that Lego set you've been wanting to play with or video game or whatever it is and reconnect back to you. Another good one is reconnect with your inner child through movies. Childhood films are such a kicker for nostalgia. It transports you back in time from when you were younger. And you could probably even visualize sitting on the sofa in your living room when you were a kid, like the smells that were in the house, like who was around you. My go-to childhood films are still my favorite films to this day, and that's The Goonies, The Labyrinth, Nightmare Before Christmas, and sometimes when it's on the telly, I will watch it. I say the telly, I don't watch telly anymore, but I used to watch it. It was Look Who's Talking. It used to drive my mum mental, but I loved it. And actually, it was the very thing, movies. Yes, it might be like an escapism thing or whatever, but it ignited my imagination. It's the very reason why I did my degree in media film production. It's the very thing why I love writing. It's the very thing why I love doing what I do, was because I connected with films from a very young age. So allow yourself to watch those films, get transported back in time and notice how it makes you feel. And how can that inspire your wedding? So me and Jacob were watching The Labyrinth a good few months ago, and he put on a the soundtrack's amazing. Obviously it's David Bowie. But one song from the soundtrack is called what was it called? When the World Falls Down. And there's a scene where Sarah's in like this big puffy ball ground and they're stuck in a bubble. If you've seen it, you know. And she's looking for Jareth and they're in a masquerade ball and he's kind of ducking and weaving. And the song is a beautiful little song. And in my head, I'm like, where? Because I know it's important. Where would that song go? Could it be when I'm walking down the aisle? Could it be our first dance? Like, where would that song fit? Because it will, it's important. Where will it fit? You will probably have something similar, whether it be a song or a soundtrack, whether it be a theme, whether it be names of characters for your table. You can find inspiration anywhere. Movies is a great place to start. Next thing you can do is create an inner child vision board. And this can be anything from movies to games to songs that you loved, maybe clothing that you love to wear, whatever it may be. Pop it as a vision board. You can do it really quickly. Just take screenshots and add it to a Canva template. Dead easy. And the reason this could be important for you, not only does it kind of help you reconnect with your inner child and the things that you loved, but you may go, I've got an idea. And thinking actually of maybe it's a game. Maybe your favorite game as a kid was Guess Who. Remember that board game where you all had like there's two board games and there's loads of pictures and you had to try and guess who the character was that the other person had? Maybe that was your favorite game and you're like, I want to incorporate that somehow to my wedding. I don't know how. Take the cards out, replace them with your loved ones' photographs, whether that's your friends, your family, whoever is there, or celebrities, or characters from your favorite film. Labyrinth, there you go, loads of characters. Spray paint the boards so it matches your color scheme. You've got a unique game there for your wedding, and you can use it when you go home. Like, get creative. How could you implement these things? Like, how could you take bits from your childhood and add them to your wedding? Because it's going to be not only nostalgia for you, but other people too. Maybe it's Connect 4, and we all know it's red and yellow with a blue frame. Maybe you just want to spray paint it a different color to match your colors theme. Because let's face it, not everybody is wanting to go on the dance floor at night, or when there's some downtime. People want to be engaging in something, and maybe you don't have the budget for a magician or a mini casino or whatever. That is you being creative. You're making it your own, and it's something your guests are going to go, oh my God, you never guess what they did. It's a talking point too. So tap in, try and make a vision board and see how that can inspire you. Lastly, the one thing that I would always recommend, especially if you're struggling with a lot of inner child work, is write a heartfelt letter to your inner child. It's not going to be easy. I've done this a few times because there's a few things that I want to kind of heal or get clarity on. Being as descriptive and as honest as possible is going to help you massively, not only for this journey, but your life. There's old wounds that we may not ever be able to uncover. What we want to do is acknowledge any past hurts that we have and express your love and appreciation for that child. Then I want you to invite your inner child to join you on your wedding planning journey, especially if you never ever thought or saw yourself getting married. This letter will help you, and it's powerful. It's a powerful way to heal and connect with yourself. So I would highly recommend that you write that letter to your inner child. If there's a lot going on, or you feel, Kelly, there's too much, like I don't ever want to kind of get back to that, I would always say seek professional advice, a therapist, a counselor, go to your GP, whatever it is, make sure that you put yourself first. Because believe it or not, and it's going to sound a bit kind of like, okay, healing will hurt for that time. Okay. The hurt is acknowledgement in our body that we suffered in some way. And we all have past traumas, we all have gone through stuff. And a lot of us walk around in life with that heavy baggage of things that we had no control in. Writing that letter is the first step to help you. So, what I would love for you to do is take those tiny steps. There's so many more ways that you can explore your inner child and heal your inner child. This one little letter will help you tremendously. And you just watch that weight lift. Now, you may, after a while, a day or two, start to feel sad or depressed or low. That is natural. That's the part of the healing. Because you start to feel sadness for that child that went through something. All of your whys, like, why did this never happen? You can't do anything about that. What you can do is send that inner child lots of love, lots of care and attention, and acknowledge it. Show it that it is seen, that it is heard now, that is loved now, and that you're taking care of it. Sometimes we have to reparent ourselves. And that's where the inner child work comes in. We are reparenting ourselves. I was fortunate to have a really happy childhood. Not many people are. Was my parents the best? No. Was they the worst? No. Were they living life for the first time? Yes. So there's a lot of love and healing that will go on from you, a lot of compassion that will go towards maybe your parents or your guardians. Write that letter and see how much healing you can do just from that one little exercise. Now, by incorporating all of those things into your routine or into your time blocking or finding time to just do one thing, whether that's just the letter, it will help you bring new levels of joy and creativity and emotional healing to you and your wedding planning experience. You can pick out certain things. You can explore your own unique journey because let's be honest, this is your journey, no one else's. So why not tap into that inner child and see what she or he has to say and how you can feel on this journey. If you are feeling very lost, confused, overwhelmed, play. Move your body, kick a ball around, dance, let her free, and you will start to feel more control over your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. Remember, the only person that we can control is us. Everything else we cannot control. That wraps up this week's episode, but if you want to, remember to grab the free Bridal Self-Love Journey Checklist. That was a mouthful. You can find me over on Instagram, so join in the conversation over there. And if you haven't already, give me a like and a follow. For now, I hope you have a beautiful week exploring your inner child. Get silly, dance, let your hair down. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great week.